Hello everyone, welcome back to Love Online. I'm Bishop Dr. Carla Dunbar. Now you know marriage is my thing, right? Like marriage is life. Yes, it is just like everything. Now you have heard me repeat over and over that marriage is the divine design of the celebration of love. That is what it is. It is built to last, and there are a number of behaviors that has the ability, I believe, to destroy marriages. And if we are not careful to be able to identify them and then to avoid them, not sweeping them under the rug, but treating with them, then our marriage can erode. Now I'm going to take a look at a few of them. Now the first one, which is going to be a bit more elaborative, is communication or poor communication. Now, poor communication or the lack of effective communication is definitely the top problematic area that across the board has been cited as a big challenge in our marriage. Now, the poor communication encompasses several damaging behaviors like lack of commitment, contempt, criticism, defensiveness, and even stonewalling. When as couples, we communicate poorly, then problems grow. And they can lead to feelings of distance and resentment and other issues that erodes the foundation of our relationship. And so if we are meant, because we understand that if we are meant to relate, God has created us to relate with each other. That's why we're in a relationship. Now, if we are meant to relate in our relationship, then that is why you have to understand that you have to identify and then you have to dissipate them. You understand? And that is why you got married in the first place, to have your very own friend, your very own confidant that you can communicate effectively with. So why not take your time, think before you talk, think how it's going to affect the marriage, and then communicate more effectively. The second one is avoidance. Now, couples often do this, and I say this on the premise of the work that I've been doing for a number of years. We avoid discussing difficult topics. There are a few difficult topics that I could cite off the top of my head. Finances, that's a very challenging one. Sex could be another one, right? And roles could be a third one. Those things are seemingly difficult topics which allows issues to fester and to grow in our relationship. There will always be tough decisions in marriage as in life. Nothing that is good or is meant to be good is going to be easy. So try not to avoid them, because avoiding the discussion does not cause them to dissipate. Treat with them, look at them, talk about them. That will cause your marriage to grow. Poor emotional honesty is another one. I think we lie way too much. How are you? I'm good. That's probably not true. And not being truthful about your feeling can lead to secrecy, and it can also lead to disconnect in your marriage. So how many times have you lied about your true feeling when you are asked by your spouse about how you are in the moment? We give these cliche and surface level responses, and it is often based on our insecurities. So we shouldn't. We should just try to be truthful, because marriage should be, it's not inhibited by anything. It should be free for expressions of honesty. So why not try it? Then there is lack of commitment. Now, this is the one where a lot of times we think that love is the pillar and it's also the glue. But I want to tell you that commitment is a foundational tenet for any relationship. Yes, and I have seen studies of divorcing couples, and that cites a lack of commitment as a primary reason for their divorce. And one of the most important foundational tenets is this commitment. We can't do without it. Of course, we would think that it is love is the glue that binds, but yes, love is important. But I find that when we make a commitment about something, that accountability takes shape, and it keeps us grounded and keeps us loyal. Now, I elaborated on this one a few days ago, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but infidelity. Adultery is a major cause of divorce. It is fundamentally wrong, and it breaks the trust and the commitment in any marriage relationship. And like I said, I won't go into the depth with this one, but marriage is made for fidelity. It is made for fidelity. It's supposed to be an unbroken covenant, and sexual intercourse outside of that, it breaks the covenant. Sexual intercourse within the covenant, it renews and restores the covenant over and over and over again. So why not just stay true? Stay true to each other. How about arguing? Now, husbands would probably say we don't argue. But the truth is, while conflict is normal, while it is natural, while it can be neutral, much arguing, especially when it escalates, it can be a major cause of challenges in our relationship. Conflicts, like I said, are a natural part of everyday life. And so arguing becomes inevitable, but we can do so respectfully. However the conflicts are brought about, however it is that they are derived, we can just approach them with the understanding that we are different. I am different, my spouse is different, our opinions different. Sometimes even our values differ. So we can resolve it without hurtful arguments, right? So why not just disagree to be agreeable? Just remember, you are different, right? And then let's move on to dishonesty and secrecy. I mentioned secrecy earlier on, but to point to it as a thing, no. Hiding things like spending habits or emotional states, these can create tension and chasm between a couple. You understand? This cannot be overemphasized. Privacy in everyone's life is important. It's an entitlement, married or not. Yeah, privacy. It's important. But secrets destroys relationship because it shows a lack of trust, which is not a part of the construct of any healthy relationship. Lack of respect. The Bible cites this in Ephesians chapter 5. We are told, not asked, not requested, told by God to see to it that we deploy this level of respect for each other. Now, disrespect and contempt can make our partners feel devalued and unloved, and it poisons the relationship, actually. Anything that you know that your partner, that offends your partner, causes harm or hurt to your partner, we should try our best to avoid it. And disrespecting, talking down to, this is why I encourage couples speak with and not to each other. Because when we marry to love, honor, and respect our spouses. However they deem respect to be, we should show it. So yeah, I know respect is earned and it is also warranted. So give it. It's as simple as that. Because the truth is, I gave you those what I call marriage destroyers because sometimes they are overlooked. They are overlooked often because they are not seen as significant. It's just me being angry. It's just me not wanting to say how I feel. It's my feelings. You know, I'm committed. You ought to know it. No. But when you cite it, you can actually look at it. Not prioritizing your spouse, not prioritizing your marriage. And when we marry to be first in relationship. We marry to be the main priority in our relationship. No one marries to play seconds to anything or to anyone. And so we have to understand that this is important. As a matter of fact, Jimmy Evans cites this as the first law of marriage. Priority. So let's prioritize each other, prioritize what is important to each other so that our marriages enjoys harmony and joy in our relationship. God procured marriage for us. It is our responsibility to preserve it. So let's preserve it and not destroy it. Let's try. Thank you so much for watching today. I want to remind you that if it is that you need to hear more about marriage and the family, that you register for the gym. There are courses for every aspect of the marriage. Courses for the singles, the MRI, which is a marriage readiness intelligence. Courses for a couple together, the M&M, which is marriage maintenance. Courses for wives only, how to speak so your husband will listen. Courses for husband, yes, you, loving your wife in a Christ-centered way. And here's one that I'm sure you'll both enjoy as a couple, sexual proficiency, all in the Grow Your Marriage Academy. Register now. Carla Dunbar Ministries on all handles. You'll find us. God bless you.